Okay, let's see if that's working. It should be now. And then I'm going to check the Twitch one. Looks like it's fine now. Yeah, well, now both streams have been killed, so. Ooh, yeah, self-sacrifice. Yeah, well, they were both giving me problems, so I don't know what that was. Yeah, it's all good. We're here to actually work on the game, not become YouTube famous. But, you know, if I could do both at the same time. It's so crazy. Okay, well, anyways, we're piping in 50K now, so we're pushing the bits. We're pushing the bits now. There's no hiding from our bits now, boys. Yeah. Oh, what? Rod. Yeah, right? If I could do both, that would be awesome. I don't know. We're gonna try. Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing just this one right here. Come on. There we go. There we go. We at 100? No, we're at 10. So this should be good. And then I should be able to drop it. Wait, there should be music. You should hear music. If you're not hearing music, let me know. But there should be music. I'm seeing it. It's showing up. It's piping on my list. And agreed, yes, we should try to do both if we can. Key term if we can. Okay. So, let us... I wonder if when I played the game that caused it to do it. That would be weird. That would be weird, but, you know, it's possible. It shouldn't be that way, but it is possible. No, you're fine. No need to be concerned. Now, what was that? Okay, 1 second. Okay. The whole ground shook. That's good. That's why I was like, what? And I used that to get me a bruschetto bun. No, I'm over there showing it the wrong thing. Thanks, title. Yeah, should be good. Okay, now let me know if it lags. That'll tell me a lot. Good sight lines. This will be like a... Okay, good. This will be something else. I don't know what I'm going to do here yet, but this is basically the road coming in. You have nice sight lines to the bridge there. Cool. The market people come here. I know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to make that piece real quick so I can show what that looks like. And then if I need to go get my goods, I can go inside there. Or if I'm transporting them somewhere else major, I go there. All of this leads into the market, so I can go into the market from there. These are houses. I think we'll have a couple of stairs that can come up or whatever else, but these are basically houses and other things. And then we're gonna create that corridor here.
So what happened to the YouTube one?
I have no fucking clue. They all died. I just fucking restarted them and set the, I shouldn't be cursing this much, but I basically just reset everything. I have no clue what caused it either. Yeah, I'm not forgetting the temple. I'm basically like trying to do a big block in first. I don't know. I just said some things that my brain was processing. I don't even know what a shitload of fuck means. Fuck if I know. Shouldn't be cursing though.
You dealt with Perilous.
Have you seen the Godot engine video I showed you? Yeah, I mean, I watched like the first 5 minutes of it and was like, this is stupid. And then again, I was in the middle of work, so I probably wasn't listening to the words that was coming across the screen. So, what I missed? Oh, I missed Perilous. Oh, Perilous, man, come on. Bro, did you get him?
No, for some reason my mod thing's not working.
That's okay, I got him. Bye, Perilous. Look at it, streamboo.com, but remove the space. And then you can at Yeah. But I thought you were
Well,
I thought you were linking it for another reason other than the funny voice.
Hey, Unreal, by the way.
I'm eating bread. Okay. We need to change up the song. We've been listening to this album for too long. There we go. New album.
Yeah, I got delayed. JW's turned up at the door.
Who
Yeah.
turned up at what door?
JW's. So
The
I had
fuck
to
is
spend a
that?
few minutes there. And Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh. Are you allowed to say that on stream? Do you have music soundtrack for the game yet? I do. Yeah, I do.
How many pieces you got looked up? Offhand,
7.
you can probably link them together in a mini soundtrack and just play it through here occasionally.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's not an unusual thing for a number of game development that they're using the in-game music to basically have as background.
Sure.
Another way to eagerly entice people to a back level of marketing.
F them hoes.
Zone-based title.
Wait, what?
Though I suspect there might be some things that apply overboard.
What does zone-based mean?
Music, is it going to be complete game and just cycling through? Is it going to be zone-based?
Oh, okay. Now I see what you guys are saying. I'm like, oh, what are you guys talking about? Is like a game I'm missing or some shit? I was very confused.
You should actually play one of the tracks through now instead of your crazy songs.
How about you don't tell me what to do? You're not my boss.
Have you checked your hierarchy calendar? You'll find I am your boss's boss.
That might be true, but that doesn't make you my boss.
Hey, as a shareholder in BlackRock, I'm totally your boss.
Mm-hmm. I guess if you think about it that way, but
Yeah.
in that sense, I'm a shareholder in BlackRock, so I'm my own boss. Now what?
Then tell
Anyways.
yourself to get to work.
Here's some music. This is the ambient sound that will be played inside of caves. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it.
It starts off low anyway.
It does start
It's
low.
going in the background at the moment. You could probably notch the volume up. Now I'll shut up so you can hear the music.
Imagine you're in a dark and dingy cave.
Turn the lights out.
I don't want to turn them out. It's creepy when the lights are out.
And totally undermined when you put the boing boing sound every time the character jumps.
Boing, boing.
Yeah, the levels will get sorted out when we actually get to implementing all of that, I think, Unreal. Plus, people have their own sliders, obviously, for levels of volume.
So that's that song. There is. I'll just play the
Should
whole.
probably make up a folder in Discord to collate those links together rather than
Hmm?
necessarily searching.
No, I have it all in my folder already. I just have to click on it. So I can play the main menu music, which I actually love, by the way. It's probably my. I'd say it's probably my most favorite. It's not like the. I mean, it's. I don't know. You'll hear it. So let's listen to the main menu.
The answer to that is Ryu. Or the full name, Ryu Themis. Or Ryu Themis.
Okay, so that's the main menu. And that was really loud. I apologize. I'll put it at 60%. That's the main menu song. And then this is the open world song.
The generic background one, which we should
Uh,
probably have a couple of versions of to loop if we're just got to open.
yeah.
Have you seen those YouTube AI songs?
Mm-hmm.
Totally should stick one as an Easter egg somewhere. Or maybe not.
I'm not trying to get lawsuited, but yeah. So that's the open world loop, and then we have open world loop nighttime.
There's a lot of collision in those roofs.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have it in there. What's going on, Maz? We're just blocking this in. This is a idea. This is ideation section. I don't know if I even like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
You
streams
were
died
off on
as, so basically I had to be reset.
Yeah. We died. It's back up on YouTube now, but not on the same link. Okay, so let's jump that gun and see what that looks like.
What's the centerpiece in that?
Huh? Where? What? Where?
Inside that square. You got
Oh,
the
I'm thinking it's like a little
centerpiece.
fountain or something. Like, and then I'll have little seating chairs that they can sit down on or whatever.
Okay.
I just put something in there that was kind of that shape that I was thinking. It doesn't have to be this. I mean, we could make it shorter and smaller.
No,
I was
no,
just
no. Fountain idea works well from the principle of even the old days fountains were the center of a plaza.
yeah. And so that's the nighttime song. And then this is the open world fighting song. So if there's combat, basically this is the song that you have. Oh, are all the threads separate? Let me see. No, this one's good. That's the combat at daytime. There's a nighttime combat one. It's more or less the same, just a little bit less me. And then I have dungeon.
It's one before we put the dungeon thing.
Too
There's
late.
one
Sorry
thing
there.
about the combat that I don't like.
I'm
I'll do
listening.
the dungeon thing.
What's up?
Is combat music should be linked to the player rather than the enemy because I really hate that. Oh, an enemy's attacking me and I don't know where it's from, but I hear the music.
So I have to start getting into a tad bit of level design myself. Yeah, level design. So, so much fun. Nope. Um, so it's based off of the number of enemies that are around you. Mester cheated that and made it to where basically combat, if there's any enemy near you, then it automatically starts, and that's not how it's supposed to be. The way it's really supposed to work is have I engaged an enemy? And if the answer to that is yes, I've engaged an enemy, then that's when we want to start the music, right? And then when
Yeah,
I've
I want
disengaged,
to when the player proactively engages as opposed to an enemy sees you and start chasing you.
well, no, I don't agree with that. I think if the enemy is targeting you, then it's there. But like right now, Mester has it to where if there's an enemy even around, it's activated,
Yeah.
and that I
But
don't like.
it makes ambushes pointless if everyone actually knows that the ambush is there because you already got the combat music going.
Well, you're
You know,
not
if you remember when you enter a boss room and it's like, oh, this is the boss room because the music's changed.
yeah, but you're missing a concept there, right? So an ambush means that the enemy is not aware of my presence. I'm saying that once you've been spotted, now your music is on. I'm not saying that that's what I'm saying. The difference between the two is right now, Messer has it where if there's an enemy in the zone, then it's automatically started. I don't
Yeah.
agree with that logic. What I'm saying is either A, you've attacked an enemy, so now he has you as a target, or B, he has seen you, and so now you're his target. One of those two things is what dictates the music. And then we actually have the pads separated out. Does combat start at targeting or by damage? By damage or by being seen. So again, if you are seen, now you're in combat. Like this is how it goes. Now if you lose, if you lose the interaction or whatever the F it is, then you're no longer in combat, because you lost it.
Being seen by something that's actually actively an enemy as opposed to like a cow.
Well, duh, yeah. We're not gonna go into combat music because you got seen by anything and everything. That would
I don't
just be
know.
silly.
I don't know. Does Mr. have it set up at the moment that all the cows can activate combat music?
No, only hostiles. Is there an actor range for the enemies? Yes, there is a range for when combat is engaged or not engaged.
And you can run out of that range, so they'll actually lose aggro.
Correct. Okay. So I think that this is our road. What I want combos to see me as their immortal. Yeah, right. So I don't like the road being all the way there. I'm just putting it there so that way we had spacing. This can be like the little connection hallway. We can do kind of cool things here and have little intermediate stalls. And then you have nice stalls here. So maybe not all of these are full on walls or whatever. Maybe we have like walls, or we can do a section where it's like walked off. So you will know when safe by music stopping. Technically, yes. Technically.
Which is the sad part because I don't think music should be generated in that sense. I
I
don't
don't.
like the tell that comes from music in that respect.
I don't care. Maybe
I
maybe
think
we'll
if you're
change it.
I think if you're committing violence, absolutely have the music going. But if you're actually not in combat or you've got target acquired, do the Keystone Cops, I guess. Don't know.
Yeah.
There's possible musical cues you could use, but it shouldn't be necessarily. I'm walking along the street, suddenly combat music starts, and I know that something's targeted and chasing me. That shouldn't be a tell for me as a game. But that's individualistic. That's my style.
Maybe we'll
I
make it
like
an
the
option.
Yeah, I like the idea that if I'm being ambushed, that it takes me by surprise.
Oh, what the hell? Why'd I get put under the water? Are there enemy spawn points in the same place? If you could make it so that you just spawn area enemy. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're asking. What you didn't notice is that we had swimming. Yes. That's what I was waiting for. I added swimming. And buoyancy, so the wave was actually making me float up. I'm floating up and down with the wave.
Do we have random spawns for enemies or not? Everything's fixed at the moment.
No, you have random. So basically, the way it works is we're currently in the process of reworking the enemies and how that works. So I can't really like fully show you, but I can show you how the concept works. So basically, if we go to blueprints and we go to props and I go to spawner, we have what's called a spawn controller. And the spawn controller, they're not specific and they are specific. It depends on how you do it. So it is 100% set up the way that we want to. So let's say we go to simple spawner. This is our controller, and basically you can link spawn points up to the controller. So if I grab a spawn point, let's say this is my location, and I only make one location, then it will only ever spawn in this one location because I basically create an array here. And on my spawn point array, I click on my thing and I've now linked it up. So now I said that this has this. Now, if I add 2, then what I can do is I add another spawner to my array, and now I have 2 for this array. So now it has 2 possible locations. And what these also have on them is they actually have an extension for wander. So I can do 500 by 500 by 100. So, and then I can do the same thing for here. And let's say I want to do 500 by 100. Wait, oh shit, wrong one. Let's do 500 by 100 by 100. So in this case, what would happen is that I would spawn somewhere in this block, and he will only ever wander in this area of the block. And if I run away and he gets de-aggroed, then he runs back to somewhere in this block location. And same for here. So he'll randomly choose a point each second or tick or frame or whatever the thing is that we set it up to be, and they'll choose that. We also have pathing. So basically we can set paths, and then you can have an enemy follow path. So like guards, they will follow a path and then they'll chase me. And then once they've reached that path, like I've dropped their aggro or whatever, they'll run back to the nearest spline point on that path and then start going on that path again. Okay, I wonder if you could give enemies like an aura audio. Now that's what exists right now. So as soon as I'm in the area of an enemy, it automatically starts the aggro music. I don't like that. The way it's supposed to work is, and the way that it's gonna work, unless I get convinced otherwise, which I doubt I will, but who knows? Maybe whenever I get player feedback, we'll go from there. But right now, the way that it's going to work is when I get aggroed, the music starts. If it's seen, whether I ambush an enemy and I attack them, when I am a target, I now have the aggro music. And that lets me know, oh shit, somebody's there. Now, here's the important part about this. All of our music for combat has 4 different levels. So 1 to 2 enemies targeting you is like super like da-da-dum, da-da-dum-dum, da-da-dum. It's like super basic, right? And then when you get 3 to 5 enemies, it boosts it up. And then anything over 5 that's not a boss is boosted up even more. And then a boss has like epic music.
And when the eye of Sauron looks upon you, you just simply melt and disappear.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, that's true too, Nez. Yeah, we'll have to play with it. I'm not sure how I want to do it just yet. Again, I don't know. We'll see. So things to think about. Music is last. That's like really how you make everything really shine. We're not there. We'll get there. We're gonna get there. Okay, let's listen to this music. This is the dungeon music.
We can have headphones attachment to the backpack as well, so you could actually literally remember Guardians of the Galaxy, the opening scene where he turns the Walkman on.
No, we're not gonna play Grand Theft Auto fucking Gladiator.
Why not?
Get at. You know what? How about this? You foot the $600 to $1,000 per song to make those songs, and I'm for it. How about that? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
No. I was just disbelieving you because I'd get the songs made and you'd be sitting there going, "Yeah, I don't like them."
No, I'll do it. I'll listen. Like I said, you pay for it. I'll do it. I'll add it in, 100%, and then we can have that. We're gonna have to, if you're gonna have voices, you're gonna have to find, because he doesn't do voices. You'll have to find voices, or what we could do is I could sing them, and then it'd be like a parody.
You want to be Weird Al?
No, but it'd be like, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Huh. It's not
why would you sing
unusual to
songs
be
like
loved
that?
by anyone. I don't know. I'm just saying we could do something like that.
Just sample the Zulus or something like that. Get your various different tribal aspects of attacking.
I don't know. We'll see.
Get your damage music on.
I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's listen to the dungeon music. This is dungeon music. Enough talk. I need to focus on working. You guys are distracting me. Yes, Grand Theft Gladiator is 110%. Yes, that's the funny part.
There'll be a demo, Naz.
Yeah, their demo should come around August if everything goes well. I actually think we can probably. I'm gonna submit a demo if I can get Mester to do some work this weekend. That's right, Mester. If you watch this and hear this, do some work this weekend, you sexy beast. If I can convince him to do some work this weekend, and we can get the character fully there. Then the intent would be to submit for Mega Grant and get 100 to 125 so I can hire another coder and another artist for a 6-month sprint, and then we'll 6-month sprint and then go from there. But yes, we should be able to have a demo out by August. I want a Mega Jam demo before then.
Early access Steam? Probably not.
In August? I mean, technically we should. The early access should be in August for Steam. It should be is the key term here.
Yeah. Get into a very different environment once you start opening up for early access there.
I mean, people are gonna shit all over it. I'm aware. I'm kind of ready for that and okay with that, to be honest. I want feedback rather than no feedback. And what we can do that Unreal put me on that I didn't know about is that was the dungeon. So if I go to dungeon combat, this is dungeon combat, by the way. Where's high intensity? I want super, like, intensity. Here you go.
It's rather nice of you, Unreal. If you only cut the nuts, at least you can still pee straight in the toilet.
So this is like the boss music. You guys have heard this before if you watch me fight the boss. Anyways, okay, enough music. So that's music. Yes, I can make soundtracks for it and we can have cool little thingies, but the short version of that is it's very, 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 very expensive because the guy that I'm using is top-notch quality. He's not like, you know, as you can hear, he's not like stupid. He knows what he's doing. So, not cheap. Anyways, so what's the gameplay loop? I'll give you the gameplay loop in 2 seconds. What were we talking about? Fuck. Oh, yeah, so I think what I want to do is I think that, you know, with what Unreal told me, we can release a demo. That demo will get we can put that into early access, quote unquote, and then that demo will allow us to get reviews. It'll have its own Steam page and everything, so we can have people talk shit about it, people can do whatever, and we can update the demo. And then after we've done that and we get all those people stuff, we close down the demo and we open the real game, and it doesn't affect us in any way, shape, or form. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I've already set it up, it's ready for it. We just need to do that. Okay, so gameplay loop. I'll go through it like super duper quick. So what's the gameplay loop, and do you train your character, and how does the arena and the open world work? Okay, so there's three pillars of how this thing is set up. And the reason why it's set up this way is because this is what I think I would enjoy as an open world. a lot of times in open world games, what happens with me, and so I'm really making this game for myself, and you guys just get to play it because it's cool. But the short version of that one is basically I wanted something to be able to do, you know, in the open world that had like is linear. I don't like open world games that aren't linear. I just get lost, you know what I mean? Like I still haven't completed The Witcher despite having 240 hours. I still haven't completed, you know, the Grand Theft Autos despite having 450 hours. I still haven't completed. There's probably one, maybe two open world games that I've actually fully completed because I get stuck on all the side quests, like Assassin's Creed. What's that one called? Where he's in Greece, Odyssey. Bro, I haven't even like oh my god, I've done all the side quests. I haven't even touched the main quest line. So I want something linear that drags them through this process, while still having the open world and letting them do all the things that they want to do, you know, open world wise. So with that mindset, the whole purpose of the game is the game loop is designed around you collecting gear to become stronger. So there's going to be enemies in the world, and there's going to be bosses in the area that, just like in Elden Ring, that if you come and try to fight them, either A, you need to be god tier in your skill level, or B, you need to have badass gear to where you negate that, right? So that's kind of the idea in that sense. And then the second part of this is I want the open world to feel a lot like Breath of the Wild, in the fact that you can basically do a bunch of crazy things. You can figure out ways of interacting with the world and doing all this stuff to make things happen. So it's not just about combat, and a little bit of exploration, finding things, unlocking things, and doing all that. And so that's all kind of there. And so
they're watching the mists slowly take over the island.
Right? Yeah.
The screams of death as people get beaten by the monsters.
They're like, no. So those are the two primary pillars, and then the third pillar is we already have all of the core elements to the game that makes it fun for open world. That can actually play into, because of how we've designed the game loop, that can actually play into a roguelike. So there is a roguelike version of the game where you just create a new character and you go into the arena and you fight as many rounds as you could possibly survive until you die. And that is, you know, like let's say you get off of work one day and you don't have anything that you want to do, but at the same time you don't want to spend 5 hours playing a game or like the open world. So you go into the roguelite version of it and you play still here just selling. Okay, don't get yourself in trouble by admitting to that. So you're, you know, in the roguelike area doing the roguelike things, and it's intended for people who, you know, don't have a lot of time. They pop in, they pop out, they're done. You know, they did 20 minutes for a match or a round or whatever else, and then they're done for the day. And then the kind of, it's part of that tier. It's not a primary element of that tier, but it is the reason why we've taken 2 steps backwards, I guess you'll call it that. We made that multiplayer. So now in roguelite version, you can actually fight multiple like real life people in the arenas. We haven't tested that yet, but it is functionally there. So that is the reason why we gutted the player. Well, it's not the only reason. We had 2 reasons. Now the player can actually have IK, and it has a control rig, and it's using all the new stuff that Unreal 5.5 offers. So we could technically do motion warping, motion matching, and all that shit. So that opens up for mantling and sliding and some other things that we might do later. But anyways, the main reason why we did it was for multiplayer. And so that has reworked our entire thing. And then the second thing that we basically reworked because of the roguelike version was items. So now items are all data assets instead of actual physical blueprints. And we've done it to be data assets because as data assets, we can actually modify a bunch of stuff, add in, you know, fire damage, electrical damage, and all the crazy shit you're going to get when you get to the high tier weapons and the high tier gear. But the idea is, just like in Pokemon, you have to go to the different arenas and, you know, battle at the arena and get all the arena badges. Very similar here. On the island, there's going to be a bunch of mini arenas, and each mini arena increases in difficulty with a champion. And ideally, you beat all the champions, and then you get access to come to the main arena where you fight in the Primus. And in the Primus, when you talk to the arena controller, you'll be able to say, I want to do a sea battle. And it'll have like, you know, sea ships and water gets spawned in the middle. And then you fight on a sea battle. Or you're like, I want to fight the Medusa. And so as you unlock different monsters in the world, you can actually talk to the arena commander and choose what you want to fight and how you want to fight it. So in the open world, your goal is to unlock and get cool gear. And there's a storyline where what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take over the Emperor's spot and basically through your renown gain all the power. So that way you can do the bidding of the following creatures I'm about ready to show you. This is a spoiler, by the way. Yeah, we have water ship battles in the arena. So these are the... Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. I flew too fast. These are the fates. And these fates are basically what are driving this whole process. Yeah, exactly. So basically, the way that the storyline works is that these fates are normally what controlled people's lives and everything else like that, but because of technology and the advancement of technology, the humans have learned how to replicate themselves using cloning and technology.
Fate points is destroying Fate's ability to control the threads.
And correct. So basically the cloning and everything else is what's stopping these guys from being able to control the threads. And because they can't control the threads, they they're like, what the hell? So the whole storyline is they contract you to come and be their person to go and fix all this. And basically they'll bring you back to life if you die, and they'll get you set up so that way you do their bidding, and they basically are holding you hostage. Because they figured out a way to sever one person's connection to the whatever you want to call it, the restoration system. And so that is what you have been. Yeah, kind of, I guess. Now that I think about it, yeah, kind of. So anyways, that's the story. You'll interact with these fates multiple times. This is the dream realm where they're going to teach you. This is actually where the starting tutorial will be, and then you're going to click on that. You're going to click on that Aether Stone, and that's what's going to spawn you into the main world. You'll fade out, and then you'll spawn into the main world, and you'll be like, oh my god. That was a long description. Hopefully I satisfied your guys' desires and needs and all that other crap. Now I need to get back to finishing this.
Tell them the missing secret plots, which is good.
No, I didn't give up any of the secrets. I'm sure you've been asked this a lot, but is there a sign up for alpha testing or anything? No. So the best way you can do that is join the Discord.
Yeah.
And once you join the Discord, you will actually you'll be able to join it. Like anybody who's in the Discord and is active and wants it, I'll post it there. And then everybody will get access. So the rogue will be like an arena mode almost, where the train you get placed into the wait, what? Technically yes. A little lagging happening, but not too bad. I don't Stormy, you seeing lag on the stream?
Give me 1 sec, I'll turn the volume on. Say test.
Testing 5, 4, 3, 2, straggy. And I'm moving the camera now, so.
You're about 3 seconds.
Well, that's not what he means by lag. He means like stuttering.
Oh. I'm not seeing
it smooth?
any of that.
Okay, smooth. Cool. It could have been because I was loading the map. It happens when you load the map because our map is massive. Like, it's really big.
YouTube's a shittier quality when when you're moving around, whereas Twitch is holding it better, but it fixes up as it goes.
Nothing I can do about that. Naz, so you're saying basically yes, you can use the roguelite in arena mode to test your skills and become comfortable with the game, so much so that you are a master. Yes, that is kind of the purpose.
There's arena mode PvE, there's arena mode PvP, there's the island where basically you go around to collect yourself various gears and all that sort of thing. Depending on the arena mode, you may use gear from the island, or you may actually come out with a complete set, depending on.
No, that's not true. Arena mode is separate, bro. We got right. I mean, maybe once we figure it out, we'll do it. But right now, arena mode is separate. I don't want to put that lie in people's heads. Arena is 100% separate.
Up with a skeleton sword in hand and go,
nope,
I have killed this skeleton sword.
Nope, they have to do that in. That is the real world and the arena mode are two separate. That's the whole point of being a roguelike.
Are we gonna unlock it with gladiator coins?
No, you're not gonna unlock anything. Like, no, the two do not.
Up with a wooden sword and wail away each other, and you said that's it.
The two do not interact in any way, shape, or form.
No. I'm saying the items themselves. Are you going to have them within the armory set up? As people get wins, they can unlock better weapons.
Will there be dragons? I don't think so. No, dragons aren't really a Greece thing. There might be a leviathan of some type, maybe like a sea dragon, maybe, I guess, if you want to call it. But there is no dragons. That's not no. And female players technically can be added now, today, tomorrow, if I really wanted to. I don't really like the idea of female gladiators, to be honest. But I don't know. We'll see. That's not a segregation thing or whatever. It's just I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. There will definitely be NPCs for it. Yes. I don't want to glamorize the killing of women. You know what I mean? Like, it's different when men, you know, are just dying. Well, that's like thousands and thousands of years of reality right there.
Well, it's not like you're going to create a pregnant NPC which someone comes along, kills, and then takes the baby. You know, that
I'm not Games of Throning this. No, correct.
No. So, and the point being is we live in an equal opportunity world. Even Rome should have developed.
No. You live in an equal opportunity world. I don't. My president got rid of that. What the hell? There's also psychology behind men performing better on the battlefield when women aren't on the battlefield, purely because men's instincts typically are to protect. I wouldn't doubt that either. I'm not trying to get a stream where I have to fucking delete it again. So let's avoid these topics. I want to get in trouble. Okay.
Yeah. At this point, NPCs are not a high priority because there's something that will be used to populate later on. At the moment, we're just trying to get the environment locked in, so we can create the NPC. That sounds logical, yeah, right?
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Damn it. Not wide enough.
And the main reason we don't have NPCs of different types is because then I'll actually have to get to work.
Man, that is a contributing factor. Okay. What if I don't like that? What if I don't like that? I don't know. What do I think? I have not decided what I think.
I just realized I should actually have populated the actual Steam page.
With what?
Some background. At the moment, if you go to the Steam page, it just says Imperium or Gladiator's Legacy, and then it goes, there's no recent activity from the developers. Not worried about the recent activity, but the reality is we have nothing on the page.
Nobody can see it.
I can.
Put some more separation in between the bridges. They're too close to each other. Yeah, no, I agree.
Just realized your YouTube title's wrong.
Why?
Making a water facility.
Meh. There's water here somewhere.
Well, it's true, you are in the poor suburbs, so it might be P.
Holla! There is a student version of Maya. However, I don't know what your financial requirements are, but I would encourage you just to get the indie license. It's $200 for a full year. Yeah, and I wouldn't, anything you make with it, you can't use for commercial either. Don't make the mistake that I made. So yeah, nope.
Especially if you take it from the student and then put it into your India, you can run into problems, yeah?
Yes, 100%. They encode the models. It was 250, so unless it jumped up. They encode the models specifically, so that way you can't do what you just talked about.
So you student to learn all the basics and then pay for one once you actually know the ship.
Well, that's correct, but you can't use anything that you made with the student version.
No, but if you just simply straight out start learning, do the student first.
Yes, I would agree. Yes, wholeheartedly, yes, I would agree. Well, I mean, so it depends. Are you trying to do Maya? Like, if you're actually being serious and you want to learn Maya, then it doesn't matter. Do the student version, learn it, and then once you've got a good mastery of it, move on to and pay for the indie license.
Just remember, everything you make in student version is useless.
Yeah,
you can use it for learning the skills, and that's it. Don't use it for actual finished content.
If you want to learn Blender, yes. I'm not a Blender fanboy, so I don't really care about Blender, nor do I recommend Blender. If that's what you like, then by all means do what you like. But I'm not going to recommend Blender.
Well, it's free.
I mean, that's cool. You know what else is free?
So yeah.
Like AIDS, herpes, syphilis. You can get all those for free too.
Nah, because you usually got to pay. You usually got to pay for dinner first, and then you get screwed.
That's true, I guess.
Definitely not free.
I mean, you can get it free still. Blender can do everything. This is correct. I do not like. I'm not saying that Blender can't. I believe that Blender is a very powerful tool. I myself absolutely hate Blender. So it is a personal preference. I like all the cool things that you can do with Blender. Like, I mean, I'll say that. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Blender that you can't, or that's not as easy to do with Maya because it's not open source, and so there's not like a billion plugins for it.
The reality is both of them have their strengths, so you have to figure out what it is that you want to do in order to figure the strengths. And at the end of the day, it also comes down to the fact of sometimes your way of working has been built up learning something like Maya, so learning Blender as a thing becomes, man, I have to learn all this shit all over again and do things just slightly different because they're different enough to make it annoying.
Well, that's so to your point, Naz, that's the reason why I did not want to go with Blender, because or how am I saying this? I went with Maya because of its animation tools, and I am primarily, when I first started this, I started out in animation and then learned everything else. So that is why I started off with Blender. I had a homeboy who used 3ds Max, and he was like, why don't you use 3ds Max? It's way better for modeling. And it is, but again, I specifically did this for the animation piece, and Maya has always had a better animation toolkit.
Pretty much, Title. If it comes down to the fact that your needs aren't great, then just take the cheapest option.
ZBrush? No, get out of here. Actually, it's really good to learn. Like, it is actually really good to learn.
But what do you do when you're sitting down there with 18 different packages that you've all learned the ins and outs of, and you find you're still only using the one that you like?
I don't know. At least you can say you know 18 packages, so you're more hireable. That's the key factor.
That is such a loaded question because it comes down to what level of language, how high level do you want to learn?
It also depends on what you're trying to do. So if you are trying to be an artist and you want to learn a language that assists with your art, Python. That is the single language that is used by, even Blender uses Python. So if you're just trying to make tools for your art that you make, Blender is the answer. Or sorry, not Blender, Jesus.
I was gonna say Blender?
Yeah,
what language?
Python is the answer. Now, if you are talking about learning a language to make GameDev and other things like that, I would encourage you to stick with something simple that allows you to understand what object-oriented language is. And then once you know what object-oriented language look like, then you can basically pick up every other language that, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp, that is object-oriented. It may take you a little bit of time, but you'll be able to pick it up, and that's the important part.
It also depends on where your skill sets are now. Like if you're starting from a zero skill set or a limited skill set, then you're almost better off going from a top level like blueprints in Unreal Engine and then slowly breaking it apart from there.
Well, blueprints are C++. That's all they are.
No, I know, but the entire point is you have ready set things, so it's easier to start disassembling and start understanding as opposed to trying to start from C++.
I don't know.
Scratch.
Well, I do agree with that. You don't want to start from C++ from scratch, but what I would suggest, or the argument I would make, is that you want to pick up. Damn, did we lose fucking YouTube again? I swear to God, Caster Labs, get on board. Yeah, I lost YouTube. I mean, YouTube, the stream is fine. I'm just not getting chat from YouTube. What was I gonna say? I got sidetracked. Oh, so what I would say is if you don't know any coding languages at all, then you need to pick up a coding language that is super easy to understand that teaches you object-oriented code. And the reason why I say that is because even if you don't, do C++ and you're doing blueprints, you still have to understand what object orientation is. Because if your code isn't object-oriented based, right? Because there's some languages that aren't, then it's going to be different. So if you go pick a language like that and then even trying to figure out blueprints, you're going to be like, what? And then you don't understand how actors work and how arrays work and all this other stuff because you don't understand the core basics of object-oriented. So you're going to be stuck in tutorial hell if you don't get the basics down of what that looks like. And that would be my argument prior to even picking up BPs and learn. I'm trying to give you from my own experience as an artist. I now can code in Blueprint. I can't do C++, but I can code in blueprints. And the reason why is because I finally sat down to understand how the objects are worked, how they're referenced, what's the importance of an actor, how is an actor, added to arrays, how are they removed from arrays, why. I always understood if statements. I always understood the mathematics and operands. Those are all easy shit. The hard part is what's the purpose of a function and why do you use a function versus a pure function and why are those things brought in and how are they brought in and when are they utilized? At what level do you do it? So for example, we have a character, right? That's our main character, but we also have a child of that character, and that child pulls all the dependencies of that primary one. And the reason why we have that child is because it does things differently than the player. So our NPCs are broken off separate from the player, but their parent is still the character base. So anything that we want everybody to do, we put on the character, and anything that's player specific, we put on the player child, and anything that's NPC specific, we put on the NPC child. And that distinction is important. So like I said, learning that is important.
On the other hand, you don't actually have to go so complex as you could actually download something like RPG Maker, which is a much lower level game creating system, to give you an idea whether this is the path you want to go down of learning, and it'll give you some of the basics and the ideas and things and like that thing. And if that turns out to be what you like, then you can jump up to things like Unreal Engine and Unity and things like that.
Sebi, you're not wrong. If you don't know what you're doing, then it is spaghetti. But I'll show you. Our code is very clean. Maybe not this one. This is a really bad example. We hacked this one together just recently. Damn.
You just spaghetti.
I just showed him the spaghetti. I'm like, anyways, yeah, our code's clean. I don't have the old character, do I? Fuck. I make myself look like a dumbass.
Look, it's fettuccine.
Fettuccine partatini. No, I don't. I mean, you can do that. I'm not gonna discount that. There's plenty of people who use templates. I personally think that those type of things handicap you. But for an artist, I'll say it this way: if you're an artist and you have no desire to learn coding, then getting those templates are perfectly fine. But if you really want to learn coding, you're gonna have to break those templates down like a lot, because there's just so much. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, oh, what is this? Like it'd be like taking a look at this code right here. Our character and all the stuff we have is technically a template, and I could export this and send it over to you, and you would be like, what? So that's why I would, again, if you're just going to do something because you want to learn the art piece, maybe you want to learn anim BPs and you want to learn how basic blueprints work and all that other shit, and you don't really care about all the functionality of the individual nuance, then yeah, kits are definitely awesome. They have a lot of good ones. There's a third-person kit. You have your RPG kit. There's lots of kits out there that you could just load in and then play with and toy. I would say that I doubt you're going to learn fast that way, or you're definitely not going to learn quality that way. You're just going to hack shit in, and then you're going to be like, hey, I made this happen, and then you're going to go to a studio and be like, yeah, I know how to do this, and then they're like, okay, cool, show me how, and then you can't replicate that because you don't have the kit. So
Do you know what I like? It's like when everyone goes, "Oh my God, he bought those assets off the marketplace and in the art and all that sort of thing, and it's a terrible game." And I'm thinking to myself, and no one ever talks about the fact of, "Oh my God, you bought that code asset off the marketplace."
Right, that's true too. So I mean, there's games out there that have assets and nobody trips on them. You know what I mean? Like that exists. So I'm not. I think it all comes down to how well you do it, right?
How well you implement it, yeah. If you make
Yeah.
it look like shit, then you're gonna get punished for that.
Yeah. Sebi, you should really only make your own stuff. That way you have a better grasp on it. Issue kits and then blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just wanted to understand the surface. Yeah, no, I'm not. Again, I'm not saying don't do it, Unreal. I think it's good for people especially if they're trying to explore as artists. I think it's a great way to do it. If you're going to learn how to be a coder and like that's like what you want to do, I do not recommend that. But if you're just exploring and playing around, I 100% think it's good because then you can feel it and you can see it and then you can replace animations and then you get a really good idea. And yeah. And I'm not opposing that at all.
And let's get into the real practical reason from a game dev aspect. You don't necessarily, as an indie, have the money to pay for a guru coder. You don't necessarily have the money to pay for, an environmental artist or an organic environmental artist. You don't necessarily have the money for this. The reality is you end up taking shortcuts regardless. So blueprints and things like that, that's one form of shortcuts that allows people to save money as opposed to finding someone who's sat there and learned coding for 10 years. This is the world we live in. You use the tools that you can do as cheap as possible in order to try and get your vision in reality.
I'm not wrong there. That shit expensive, bro. And now it's even harder because you're like, I have this really cool game idea. And then everybody's like, yeah, I've heard that before. And you're like, son of a bitch. I just want to make games, guys. You can't make games. Ooh, stupid question, but what does this do? Wait, what? That's a stupid question. Oh my God. This person posted in the thread of a plugin. He's like, hey, stupid question. What does this do? What do you mean? What does it do? Why are you there? Oh, yeah. Okay, what am I doing? I don't fucking know. I got sidetracked. I was going to do something on Discord. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, okay. Anyways. So I kind of like this. I think I need to get more deep into this. Oh, I know. I've written all my code myself, and I'm using examples to get a grasp on how it works. We're just talking about game programming. Yeah, no, I give you. People say there's no such thing as stupid questions. I mean, so, okay. If I'm being real, I don't believe there is a such thing as a stupid question, and here's the reason why. Somebody else probably thought it. So at the least, you might answer somebody else. And if you didn't ask that question because you thought it was a stupid question, then something bad might happen because you made a really horrible bad assumption. So in that sense, I don't believe there's any stupid questions. Now, here's where I would say there are stupid questions. If we're talking about the intellect that it required to come up with that question, yes, there are stupid in that sense, right? But asking the question itself, you can always ask. You should always ask.
Not necessarily stupid, could be ignorant.
I mean, sure. Yeah,
a lack of knowledge is not necessarily stupidity. However, something that was saying, Sebi, is when it comes to Unreal Engine and Unity and basically engines that are created like that, there are one size fits all for whatever it is. It means that basically when you get under the hood, there's a whole lot of unnecessary shit that exists if you're creating a game out of that. So your game is going to be bloated.
That's the big complaint about Unreal.
So it's all spaghetti code if you really get down to it when it comes to your game, which is why some companies get their own engines built for themselves. But then you get things like Fallout, which is trying to exist on its engine from 15 years ago, and everyone just watches it fall apart as they do multiplayer versions of it. Just use other people's work at the expense of knowing that it's not yours. But
that's also
it's convenient.
That's also the reason why a lot of companies are switching to Unreal. is because the amount of time that it takes to update their engine exceeds the reward that they're getting from doing so. And so it makes no sense, right? Just have somebody else do your engine update for you. And Unreal is actually extensible enough to where you can create your own custom crap as long as you know C++. So why not, you know? And that's why you're seeing a lot of companies switch over to Unreal Engine rather than their own, because it just doesn't make sense to pay all that money for your own version of the engine when you're not really getting any major reward or benefit from it.
And it's a good engine. Same with Unity. At the end of the day, they do good jobs, even if they are bloated pieces of shit. If you've got coders in a team and they're good enough, you can actually reduce that bloat. But most people don't have that situational resources to be able to do that, so they just go with it, which is why we get 5 billion gig games. But people still don't. They'll load those games and play them quite happily.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely true. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, now I need to actually get to the details. I got the onesie. Ow, fuck the arm. Oh, man, that hurt. I can't even lift a damn T, bro. Ow, damn.
So go left-handed.
That is my left hand. My right hand is here. This is good. It's the left hand and shoulder that's effed. Oh, damn. I really need to go to this. I'm gonna do that after the stream's over. I'm gonna go to the store, get me some ibuprofen. Arm circles I have been doing all day because, yeah, I don't know what I did, man. I was doing planks and I was doing push-ups. Maybe it's because I'm 40 and push-ups are killing me softly now I'm older. Okay, we want to cut this city off.
Have it AFK for a bit, make some food.
Okay, I'll be here. Okay, I don't need that many. There are some perks on their own engines as well. Like you said, you can add functions and things that the engines doesn't have. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm only 21, dude, and my right knee hurts from lifting 730 pounds one day. I'm probably gonna get arthritis. Or, I mean, probably. I pray that you don't, but I mean, probably. Okay. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. So this is, as I'm coming up, that's gonna be a tower or something. I don't really know how I want this to look just yet, but I think a tower is the answer. That's the guard tower. This is the walkway that they get there. This is the inner side area. This is the main entrance. So you're like, you get up to the main entrance. You can't go that way because we'll have it blocked off. Because that's a building or a house or something. I don't really know just yet, but we'll have it blocked off. Maybe we have, ooh, that's a good idea. I don't know how I want to do that. I guess I'll figure that out in a minute. But anyways, you walk up here, you got the yellow brick road, or in our case, the teal brick road, and you follow the teal brick road. That allows you to have the marketplace on your left side. You have this over here on the right, and you have your main entrance to your thingy. We'll probably move this a little bit to the right so that way it's there and it's nice. We'll have a little building here, have a building there, building there. We need to change a few of the heights here, but we're just, again, blocking out the space for it. And then I'll have a walkway to get up here, so that way you can get on this second level. We'll do something over here. I don't know what I gotta figure out where I want to put the temple, and then I also gotta figure. I might put it over there. Quartermaster is here. I need a place for the temple. I wanted a bathhouse where they can all shit and piss and do their life. So I need to think about where that's gonna be. Where's the pooper at? This is a retainer wall. So I'll probably bevel some of this out. Come here. You can't get up here from here. You got to go around. Maybe we have the walkway where you can get up is here. So you get up there. Now you're like, okay, I'm up here, cool. And then there's another stairway here. I don't know where we put that. Maybe we put it here or here. I don't know. Because then we can have some shit on the side. But either way, this gets you up here. That allows you to travel over here, which maybe we put like another guard tower or something over here. I don't really know. Or maybe this is like a storage unit area. Either way, it doesn't matter. These are bridges that allows you to get across. I think this is a big area that we can put some stuff. This is another big area. And then this lets you look at all the stuff that's happening there. Maybe we can even have a staircase that comes down. So you can, jump down or you can climb down, whatever you want to do. I don't know yet. Make it a little bit bigger, who knows? But either way, that gives you access to this area, which can be another building or whatever else. That gives you access to this area, so you can see all the cool market stuff, and then all the market stuff that's happening here. We have our quartermaster over here. Maybe this is where the cool little fountain is that, Homeboy was talking about, or we have another fountain here too. I don't really know on that part. I haven't decided yet, but that's what I'm thinking. Let's make this 8 by 8. Yeah. So that way it's larger than the area. And then we throw one of these stupid things on top of it just so that we know that it's a guard tower. And then Homeboy can come in through here. Get through here, does it do their life, whatever else. So what we really need to do now is we need to start planning the different sections, right? Because we know what the roads are going to be like now, so I don't really care about the roads as much. Still here, just a shower and about to buy some pizza. Hey, cool, enjoy that. I need to make it to some of your streams too, by the way. You always stream during the day though. I'm working, man. Make my life hard. Okay, so no streaming. That's not good. No bueno, senor. What happened to it? Why'd it poop? If I can be so bold to ask. Ooh. That sucks. I get it. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what angle do I use for this? 45? Yeah, I guess so. Ew, disgusting. It's all jagged edges. But that, I mean, that's the answer, so. Okay. So push this in here. Push this like this. What the F? Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, F you too, bro. Much better. Much better. Skittle me riddle. Okay. So this is our exit out. This is our cool little view. You'll see the flaggy stuff. There'll be market stuff in here. Everybody will be kind of like, I'm doing market stuff. We'll have this as, this will be like an actual archway. I kind of just hacked it in right now, but it'll be an actual archway. If we're up top, you can travel. I don't really need this like this if I didn't have that. So then the question is, what do I use that for? I don't know. Maybe I make that a hole or something you can go into. Thanks, Unreal. But we need this pathway to come here and also go there. So this needs to get rid of. Because this is the quartermaster's like zone. Okay, and then we want this to be cut off there because again, I need to make this tunnel work. So this is the quartermaster's like home. That. I don't know what that looks like. I haven't decided yet. But I do think that like, this is an area that you come in here and you should talk to him. You shouldn't be able to access this area unless he lets you, type thing. And then that's how you gain access to the back area. Yeah.
But you're having all of the workers come through to go to the elevator at the top level, so it's a weird access stuff.
Well, no. So, yeah. This is for food and animals and big things. They come off the ship, right? So, ship pulls into port, right? Offloads all their crap. You get the cranes. You bring them over here, and then it gets brought up, and then gets loaded into this preload area. And then, you know, another crane can come and pick it up. We'll make it to where like you can get up here. Another crane comes and picks it up and brings it over here to this area, checks in with the quartermaster, or maybe on this side there's a quartermaster, and then they load it in. Over here, I'm thinking like this is like maybe where you go and you report your crap for the day. You're like, hey, we made 5,000 sales or whatever else, and then you go back home and you're like, okay, I'm going back home. And like, you know, here's the alleyway. We can have a couple of doors on the bottom for how you get up into that, but basically, you know, do I have a doorway? I don't know if I have a doorway yet. Anyways, the point is that this bottom area is kind of brick, but it's only used for like getting up to the next level. That's really the whole purpose of it. And so once you're up at the next level, that's where the houses are up here. Now down here, you'll have houses, and we can kind of change the size and move it. I just, you know, blocked them in quickly, but we can easily do something like that. We can easily, you know, do something like this. Or even, you know, potentially something like that, and make these a little bit more dynamic. They don't have to be as granular as they are. But the point of this is that as I'm traversing, you know, these might have overhangs between the two. They might have something that comes up that's smaller that, like, you know, goes up, but I have a generalized, you know, height across the board.
One thing I was going to say, regardless of the cranes, there's no reason we can't utilize part of the hoverboard technology to actually float crates and move them around.
Yeah. I'm not.
No, I was just thinking in terms of warehouse. If you're taking it from the warehouse, you hover it.
Correct. Yeah. We don't need to necessarily have a forklift. It could be a hoverboard. Like it's a platform. You turn on the platform and then it starts hovering. It's like.
Yeah. You can build a quest that works around it, but also you can have it as the normal NPC interactions as they're taking supplies into the city.
Yeah.
So I think cranes to lift them up from obviously the water ground and chuck them in there, and then hoverboards because you're in the flat area.
Yeah.
And work it from that perspective. That actually could be an interesting way of stealing the hover component in order to get part of your backpack rack upgraded.
Steal? No.
Well, I suppose we're a gladiator. Beat up.
Yeah. Punch him in the nutsack. Wait, what? Show me all the albums. Okay, we're gonna listen to my classic I'm Ending the Stream album, because I'm getting close to my time for that. I'm at 000. I have been streaming on this stream for 2 hours. I did 2 hours on the last one, so that's 4 hours. I got a little bit more time left in me, but I don't know, we'll see. I have a lot I'm gonna be doing off of screen, because basically this is just the ideation phase, right? So what does it look like when I come up here? I see a little tower, it looks nice, got some towers up there, got a cool little bridge looking over there. I need this to be kind of a nice little walkway as we get up here. I don't know, I'll probably brick this out. You finally make it up and you're like, I made it up. I probably want some kind of archway or something here, kind of making it cool, and you're like, oh, I'm cool because I made it. So, you know, I'll throw in like an archway or something over here. And so that's, you know, maybe that's like what connects the two buildings, maybe. Figure that out. And so then you got your archway. You can kind of come inside. Be like, no, yeah, I'm in. And then over here, you'll see this. I think that shows off. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Archway is fine. I was just thinking to myself that I overthought. I was thinking to myself, guards and toll collectors and all that sort of thing, and I said to myself, we don't actually need that, any of that shit. And then I was going to say, we don't need that shit to you, and then I realized you weren't actually doing that. That was just my mind getting out of myself.
Nice. So then we have this sight line, which is the cool sight line. We should have like little towels or something else like kind of guarding this, and maybe I do an inlay on this and push these back a little bit, so that way we get a little bit more room. I haven't really decided yet. The other thing that we can also do is we can push this out a little bit more. I think that might be beneficial, to get a little bit more depth into this. Maybe get rid of that.
I think we have soldiers guarding the warehouse and that sort of thing, but I don't think we actually really have any soldiers in the slum living areas because it's kind of pointless.
I agree. I don't see a need to have soldiers in this area at all. Like, you might have like one going there because they're going to the brothel to go get their rocks off or something. I don't know. But...
Oh yeah, or an occasional patrol or something like that. But the reality is it's pretty much it's lawless in that sense.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But the harbor and the markets, yeah, you would say that's a strategic asset. And the merchants would have... It's a question of whether you would actually have Imperium guards or whether you'd actually just have the merchants have their own particular guards to, you know, have their collective security force.
Yeah. I don't know, it's a good question. You're asking the hard-hitting questions.
Could be a combo of both, to be honest.
Yeah. What the F? How is that so far off? Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna fix it all in Maya. I'm just trying to get the layout right now. So we have a bunch of houses that are grouped. We have a bunch of little side things that are grouped. We got a big, like, this is a big ass area for market. But I mean, that gives us a lot of different like play options. Gives you a little bit of space. You have market stalls back here. We can have, you know, a nice little fountain area or a sitting area for them. We can even make, you know, we could introduce the first version of the wet tower roof that I want for the major city. So that would be kind of cool where they see that and they're like, oh my god. But only in this little area. They should be able to traverse through here. I think I might make this smaller. This is a little big. But I was trying to cheat and use the size I had. But it does look cool. So, you know, we have lots of merchants inside here. Or maybe the big stall merchants are in here, like the blacksmiths and things like that. And then inside here is your little tiny like purse vendors and gem vendors and whatever else. You have a little sitting fountain area where we can have like a cool little statue, maybe like a fighting statue or somebody's like killing a horse or something. I don't know, with a trident. Either way, or maybe a big fish with a trident or something. Anyways, big huge statue there, making it look cool.
You can have the main stalls all under the covered walkways. That area, open area, be the plaza area where people can interact, sit down, or have a stupid busker in the corner or something.
Yeah, like that's a good point. We could have this area be kind of.
You could potentially shrink the square a little bit so you got more room to utilize for stall spaces. I like the green in the background as you put down autumn trees.
Don't ask questions. It's just the texture I have on it right now.
Have the seats been made interactable?
No.
Alright. Hot Trash likes your low poly.
Oh. Hot Trash Games. Well, it's not my low poly. This is Senti's right now. But I will make it look a lot better. Either way, thanks for the compliment.
Well, to be fair, 99% of what you can see is yours.
That is correct. Okay, so I'm thinking something like this.
The only negative I can see is if you actually turn that into a water feature, the benches are too close and everyone's going to get wet.
Well, duh. I mean, we're gonna make that better later, dude. Don't be getting all crazy on me here.
All persnickety.
For snickety.
It's alright,
Okay.
I'll just write it up in the law as public baths in the markets.
So we'll probably reduce that roof size. It's a little too high. That's okay. And then now you have like a little market area where you can sit. This will be all tile. You can make it look pretty. You can come sit down here and chill. We'll increase the height or whatever. Water will come out of there and fill this. And that's basically how that looks. And then at nighttime,
Actually, at nighttime, you made a string of Christmas lights across the fairy lights and having that effect like a star ceiling.
maybe. Don't know. Haven't
They
decided.
will in certain areas, just not inside the city unless something is written in.
Yeah.
No, what Hot Trash was saying.
At nighttime, it'll look nice. Have nice, good lighting.
So the question is are we going to have nighttime markets?
I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna be there at nighttime. No. Maybe the blacksmith or something. Like, I don't think that cutting those off would be smart. But yeah, you never know.
I'll have a think about that one.
So this is 1000. You could have little black market NPCs that appear at night and trade stuff with you. I mean, that's possible too.
Yeah, it's what I was thinking about Lightning was the variation of a shift change and whether you actually had masters who did different levels of tiers and all those sorts of things. But some of the mechanics of the gameplay don't necessarily lend itself. It's not like we are there yet, so it's more trying to figure out something.
No, I was talking about 1000 in the game, like, meaning I just set the time to 1000. It uses 24-hour clock for day-night rotation. So it's 10 a.m. Here in the game. In my world, in the real world, it is currently 9 o'clock, which is 2100 if you're using the 24-hour military clock.
Given your ex-military, I don't know why you're using the 24 military cut.
Because it makes way more sense. I think it's so stupid to have to be like, I'm talking 10 a.m. versus 10 p.m. Just say 2200. 22.
But
I
my
know.
broken clock is right twice a day.
Sure, mine's not. Mine's accurate. And there's no confusion either. That's the best part. Well, there's no confusion for me. There's confusion for other people who don't do the 24-hour clock. Nice. I had no worries. It's my pleasure. It's people like you that makes it worth serving. Yeah, I like this a lot. Unreal, if you're still here, what do you think?
He went to get food.
Oh, he's gonna be gone for like 6 hours. So I need to put some buildings over there for houses. These are fine. I can make these look pretty. This is, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this place. Do we make more houses in here? Do we make this like, do we care? I don't know.
You need a certain amount of shopping and all that sort of thing, markets and all that sort of thing. But its question is, are you going to have a pub over at the market or do you have a pub over here? It's those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So you've got housing, absolutely, and you've got warehouse workers, servants that do the villas, the people in the villa live upstairs. So a semi-matching. But you've got family aspects. So the reality is you can stick 2 to 3 NPCs in a single house. But given we haven't actually rigged up how many NPCs we're going to have, it's kind of open school at the moment. We can adjust it later.
You should mock up market stall so you can throw it around. My dad told me that the Air Force gets it easy, saying it's like 9 to 5 job with the uniform, and they get the bus. I mean, kind of. That's not always true, but it's kind of true. Yeah, I mean, that's true too.
Only reason, because my father's Air Force, the only reason the Air Force have it slightly easier is because at the end of the day, they're a long-range form of logistics for the supply side, and fighters operate at a distance from their bases, whether it's a carrier or an airport. So the reality is they tend to only be at the sharp end of the spear for a limited time before they return back behind.
I was Navy.
So you could put that on the inside of the square, on the outer edges of it.
What
but
brand?
inside,
Wait. Wow, I'm missing that. Plus bike physical test. That's true. What do you work on if you're not in the army? Well, I've never been in the army, so I don't know what the. Do you mean like what do I work on in the Navy if I'm not part of the army?
what are you doing now if you've gone?
Or that's the next question. Do you mean what do I do now that I'm not in the military anymore? Is that like there's like 6 different ways I can interpret that question. I need clarity.
Well, technically he wasn't in the army, he was in the Navy, so correct that first. And currently he's retired from the Navy on a pension and working in another job, which he may be free to talk about or he may not be free to talk about.
I mean, I can tell you who I work for, but past that, no. Not much I can do. I don't think those should be on the inside. I think that ruins what this looks like. I am in cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity specialist. And so I do basically cybersecurity consulting-ish. I wouldn't really call it consulting, but big-ish. Yeah, SK is an old job, but yep. Good people. A lot of my good friends were SKs. You make friends with ITs and you make friends with SKs because ITs back in the day gave you cell phone service, or they don't call it cell phone service, they call it POTS lines. And then they also give you internet. And then you make friends with the SKs because when packages or stored goods come in, you get your stuff first if you're friends with them. And yeah, very much. That's why they say, a lot of people say that it's like prison. Because it's all about who you know and what you can do. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Or you'd be the big dog. Then you don't have to know people because people want to know you.
Yee.
Till someone else tries to stab you and take the place.
Yeah, that's in real prison, not in the Navy.
Yeah, I can talk about that.
You can. You are an expert on that, not me. Okay. I like it. I think it looks good. I think we're on to something here. I think it feels good. Maybe I might want some variance here and block this sightline off so it's not so easy to see that full pathway. It might be a little bit, but then I don't know. I also kind of like it, like I can see the tower there. I'm like, whoa, it's like centered, Like, that's so cool.
That's where you might actually have an archway, though, because technically your lighthouse is more likely to be a secured site than others, especially if you also got the goblins. The fish people.
I mean, I can have an archway here. Like, I'm not.
No, I meant the entrance to the bridge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, right here. Makes sense. Whatever. He was trained combatant. When I heard he could use a sniper, I didn't expect it. I mean, it just all depends on what you do. Like, that's the thing that's cool, is you never really know what you're gonna do. Okay, so this is an 8x8. Let's do a 6x6 to represent a tower real quick. So I'm gonna. I'm just gonna delete all this.
Mester say what time he wanted to connect with you for this that day?
No, because Mester never ever does. I'm gonna have to yell at him and be like, Mester, get to work. He's not up yet.
No, it'd be another 5 hours or so, but that will be Saturday, so make sure you do get some sleep before you hook up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I gotta follow. Zyclorus. I almost said the other word. Thanks, Zyclorus. Appreciate the follow.
You successfully fooled someone.
Okay, so this is a 6x6x8. Let's come here. Oh, wait,
I won't
what?
say I was internally flinching as I was watching you count the little squares one at a time.
Yeah.
And then had to go back because you didn't get the 6 properly.
Hey, man. That's how it be. 4. Don't judge me, okay? Let's do file, export selection, and we're gonna call this delete me later, and this will be a 6 by 6 by 4. We'll import that bad boy, and then okay, what if I wanted to do, let's listen to the main menu loop. I'm gonna turn it down though. That thing was loud. Now we can say, what if I wanted to throw that bad boy on here? So here we go.
Pretty much got all the elements blocked out for the demo level now, don't we?
Yeah. Once this town is done, we're basically done. That's part of the reason why we're spending so much time on it, is because it is like the last leg, if you will.
Ironically, this is all side quest area.
I mean, this for the demo, yes, you would be correct.
For the demo, yeah. I mean, it lends itself to the main game, because this is where you unlock the harbor and get the animals and other things involved, and that starts incorporating towards the capital.
My younger generation takes freedom for granted. Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death," and unfortunately, the modern generation would close to be lazy rather than stand up for fight. I mean, we could say that, but I think, especially, I don't know about in other countries. I can only speak to America right now because that's where I live. I can tell you that there is a resurgence in America of that younger generation. So much so that they're now calling them fascists and all this other crap, when in reality they're more populist than they are fascists. But that's the other group's attack mechanism. You know, they're like, oh God, we haven't experienced something like this in forever, and their way of dealing with that is, you know, calling them fascists. But in reality, it's just people who like their nation. You know what I mean?
But your military recruitment, because I was seeing this on Fox the other day, has actually spiked up massively since Trump has got into power.
Well, that's for two reasons. That's Trump is routinely been very good for the military, like pay bonuses and all that other crap. And then the second reason is they got rid of all the woke shit that was basically making the military silly. I'm not saying that those purposes don't have reasons behind them or whatever else. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is a lot of people who were annoyed with all of the training that was required and all that extra crap. They just wanted to serve, you know? And so when you got rid of all that, then you have people who are more likely to want to stay in or join up or whatever.
There was two things that occurred to me when Lightning said what it was. One was, if you go back you'll find every generation talks about the new generation as being a bunch of lazy people, and you go back a generation and they'll talk about that generation that's coming up. And so it's the reality is the next generation coming will always inherit the mantle of being the lazy fucking generation. And to a degree, partially true. But the newest generation also have access to far more labor-saving devices, far more different forms of entertainment, far more varieties of choice, because as we've grown technologically, we've afforded more ability for people to do things. And labor saving can't be underestimated. I mean, back in the 1950s, you were working your ass off physically to get things done. Now half of that work can be done just by machines, robots, and other things. So generations have different privileges that come with it, with the development. The other thing is basically, if all the generations were truly as lazy as they were, then society would just literally fall apart. So it's not realistic in that sense. But more importantly, it's also regional. America might say that about themselves, but you go to another country where kids literally have to eat, work to survive or something like that. It comes down to what part of the world you live in and how much privileges you get to be able to be a kid or a young adult. My 2 cents. I'm kind of thinking to myself, Lightning, I think you're already behind the fact. I think that pretty much is the fact.
Eventually, we're just going to be a bunch of fat people. Are you going to make it look like a sandstone fortress like Unreal Habit? So, yes. This is the part that he was having a problem with, which is the block out. That's all I'm really doing is I'm going to block this out. I'm going to get the idea fleshed out, and then it'll be his job to make it look like the sandstone crap.
These are not the end building results. This is just a map out.
Yeah, the idea is to get something in place for walking and player and where they go and all that crap. That's all this is. It'll be his job to make it look like the sandstone fortress castle crap. And maybe I will do some of the legwork. I don't really know. Maybe I'll do the legwork and get the base stuff in place. We'll see. It depends on how fast I get this done. So,
and you got other shit to deal with as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we should be doing animations and shit. I really need to get on that. Like, legitimately, I really need to get on that. It's supposed to remind you of Overwatch because that's what I designed it from.
Inspired from.
Yeah, whatever word you want to use.
Hey, there's one called stealing and there's one called inspired. One is legally bad and one is legally good.
I suppose you would be correct in that statement.
And it's not like you actually stole from.
Well, that's true. Yes. I like the aesthetics over Overwatch. I don't like the game. The game is horrible. But the way the game looks, oh yeah, Overwatch is... Some of the best artists were on that team, man. Like, Overwatch is top-notch, top tier. Especially for stylized work. You don't find many artists who can do that kind of skill.
Nope, but they still screwed it.
Well, yeah. Again, you can have the prettiest game in the world, and it'd be fucked if you don't know how to if you don't know how to do gameplay, and they don't know how to do gameplay. The only character that could sprint in Overwatch. Yeah.
Well, let's face it, what's the most famous thing that came out of Overwatch? Tracer's butt.
Yeah, and mercy porn.
Well, yeah, mercy porn for those who've dabbled in that world.
I haven't dabbled in that world, but I know it exists. I love the short videos for Overwatch, but I don't like the game. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, its art is amazing. Take away the art and the gameplay is atrocious. Nope, not doing porn. I could do porn like so easy, legitimately. I could make animated porn and probably be a billionaire by now. I have morals.
Considering that the porn game company, whatever it is, that's owned by MindGeek, is now doing bigger business than Steam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, ugh. Billionaire. But I got morals, so not happening.
The trouble is Overwatch at the end of the day was an open world concept that got tied down into your Call of Duty type closed set.
No, we're not doing any of that either. No brothels. No brothels. Well, actually, I don't know. I have to be careful. No, probably not. No, probably no brothels. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll make brothels, but like every time you go to a brothel, you lose health and you become a weaker gladiator because you're a weak human being.
So put disease.
Yeah, there you go. Oh hell yeah! You just got AIDS.
Well, we won't use AIDS because this is a different timeline. We'll call it.
Okay, then it's gonna be you got curves or burbs or gerbs.
Yep.
Well, I am a Christian as well, and I live a moral life, and I believe that it's easy to live a moral life when you follow the Bible. If you don't follow the Bible, then it is hard to live a moral life, yes. We're just gonna have to put stairs there or something. When doing topology like this, it is important to have it be very even, or is it as fine as long as it's covered by assets? So that's a great question, Lanzel. It depends, right? So I'll give you an example. If this is not flat here and it goes from here all the way to here, you're gonna have problems. Now, if I flatten it all the way to this edge, then it's good. And there's two ways you can solve that. You can solve that by hiding it with meshes. Like if you have a cliff mesh, then it doesn't really matter for the landscape because you're just going to put the cliff mesh here and you're going to hide it. But wherever the cliff mesh has to like start from would need to match the height of the cliff mesh. So a good example of that is over here where these rocks are. How these rocks are connected to the landscape. This landscape goes pretty aggressively down, but the rocks, kind of cover that. And so I just have to blend it in and make sure that it kind of matches. And then you'll use an RVT, a virtual texture, a runtime virtual texture to blend the two together. So that way this texture blends into this one. And then, it's nice. So there's a couple different ways you can solve it, but if you're going to solve it that way, that's how you're going to solve it. For me, right now, I'm not super worried about it. I'm basically focusing on trying to make this thing work. And then I'm going to put stair meshes to cheat this. But the nicer your topology, the smoother your topology, and this is for meshes or whatever, the easier you're going to have a time blending it. So that's your answer. It needs to be nice and smooth so that way it's easy to blend.
So how's someone going to deliver wood from the wood mill if you've got stairs?
Probably have to make something. I'm on the right side, like near the shore of that large wall at the sandstone village. Put a outcropping that peers over the ocean. You mean here? Like here? Maybe. I don't know how I want to handle that yet. I'll get there in a minute. Okay, we gotta stop listening to this song because it's on repeat and it's gonna kill me.
He's still on the title.
Yeah. Anyways, the answer is to hide that, like, the legitimate answer is do whatever you got to do to hide the meshes and the terrain cuts because you don't want it to look nasty. Like this right up here is nasty. This is bad. My intent is to hide this with a cliff mesh. So I'm going to put a cliff mesh here, and that cliff mesh will hide a lot of how this is like super nasty. And, you know, we have to add rocks and all these other stuff. Cliff meshes. Is there a way to optimize by not rendering the parts of the mesh that are not visible? In Unreal, it automatically does it. So in Unreal, these rocks right here, yeah, no worries. I'll answer whatever questions you want. That's why I'm here. These rocks are a good example. So this rock is normally, where is it at? It doesn't show me the normal. Crap. It doesn't show me the normal geo, but the normal geo is like really high. And after I set it nanite on, you turn on nanite, and then once you turn on nanite, you turn on a prop for the LOD group. So that way, if you're, you know, you've got a player who can't use nanite for whatever reason, or you're on mobile or some shit, I don't really know. There's a lot of different reasons, but the point is you're gonna get a couple different edge cases where, oh, I got somebody who subscribed. Thanks for subscribing on YouTube, whoever that was. I don't know why I don't get the YouTube subscriptions listed. Your average poor noob. That's what it says. Anyways, thanks. I just saw the notification. Anyways, you turn on nanite. It does its little thing, creates it, and then it basically turns this into a 12K. And then as you zoom out, it reduces the size and the size count, and then it basically makes it smaller and smaller and smaller, and so it's less and less and less polys. And then you also have automatically in the engine, you have what are called HLODs. So you basically do build and you do build HLODs. And then basically what HLODs will do is anything that's not in a sight line, it sends a bunch of like things throughout the level to do all these like calculations, and then it like determines sight ranges or whatever else. So for example, right here, it does a bunch of stuff and does a bunch of looking, and then it says, oh, you can hide this automatically because I can't see it. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Ness.
God bless, man. So that's kind of how those work. HLODs, LODs, and nanite is how you get away with having nice polygon-based stuff that makes your stuff look good.
Unreal has definitely done a good job of getting themselves that way.
And a good a good way of kind of showing this would be, wait, what? Did I delete the, I deleted this stupid, okay, well, I was gonna show you my cool trees, but I'm not doing that.
You deleted the trees?
I deleted the trees. I got it. It's on my level, right?
I'm gonna have to fuck off because I gotta get Sharon Shea for a quote.
I mean, I'm about to close down the stream anyways. I think we're there. Oh, look, it just finally showed up. Anyways, this is my tree. This is my tree setup. This is the jungle with PCG and auto spawning PCG and the jungle and everything else. And you can see that it's very optimized. This is our new grass that we're gonna have. These are the new trees that we're working on, and then we have ivy. I don't know where the ivy is. It was here.
On my house. It wasn't on the front of the building.
I think I forgot to save. It's all good.
Okay. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, we got ivy. And so, like, ivy like this would be super expensive if you look at the number of polys that is here. Like, this is like super expensive. Anyways, there's another good example of it. You hit play, and you know how you make it look. Still looks good. Still get good poly counts. Nanite is where it's at. Anytime, let me know. I'm gonna have to figure out those lighting issues with the block though. It's okay though. Because that shouldn't be happening right now. I don't know why it is. Maybe if I throw a light in there. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Okay, I'm gonna call it. We've been here a good four hours. I'll probably stream again here after I take a break. I need to take a break. I need to open up the doors. It's hot in here. I got crap I need to do. So yeah, make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe. I will be streaming a lot now. So yep, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a good start to your weekend.